Hey garden friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Era and this is Gardening on Purpose. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I garden in Georgia, Zone 8A, where I do gardening related videos. I'm at Home Depot and I am doing a voice video about the Home Depot bulbs that I showed you not too long ago. The one that I put up earlier, I pretty much just put music and I showed you, but I wanted to go into detail about the actual varieties. Let's get started. All right, so first up, they have dahlias, which I absolutely adore. These are going to be perennial for me. Now, they do have them listed as annual, so if you're colder than a zone 8, then you might have to dig your dahlia up, or you have to treat them as annuals, and they will die if it gets too cold. Now, there are times when we have a wet winter and parts of the tuber do rot, but normally dahlias do come back for me. Now, this particular one here is Crazy Love, which I have and does really great. These are 2 bulbs for $9.98. Now, I've bought this before, and this is what it looks like. And I definitely will show you a video of how I plant them. I usually jumpstart dahlias, and what that really means is that I put them in a pot and keep them inside, and then when they start to sprout, I bring them out, and that actually gets them to bloom earlier. These are really nice for me. Now, these dahlias don't have any fragrance, but it doesn't matter because they are so beautiful. Next up, we have Mr. Blue. And Mr. Blue is not really blue. It's this really nice, deep burgundy red. Again, 2 bulbs, or 2 tubers, as they're correctly called. Dahlias do appreciate full sun. Now, what I do notice with dahlias is that they don't really fare too well in the storms. Their stems are a little bit weak. So there are times you're going to come out when it's raining hard or it's really windy. They're going to be on the ground. But it still does not trump the fact that they are quite beautiful. Mr. Blue is looking really nice. Now, when you come to the store, you gotta check the bulbs, guys. You gotta kind of squeeze them and make sure that they're not pungy or soft. Make sure they don't have anything white growing on them. I look for really nice firm tubers, and I also look for stuff that actually have growth on them, because I can be sure that it actually is not just going to sit there and not grow. Next up, we have Motto, which I have in my yard and does really well. It's a nice deep orange. Next to that one is Jamaica or Jamaica. This one here is a nice red and white. If you like that kind of color, they're looking really great. Next up, we have Smoky. Smoky has a really nice pink and white color. And again, take your time and squeeze these tubers to double check to make sure they're great. Next up, we have the Arabian Night, which is a deep blood red. And then we have Babylon Red, which is a brightly colored red. Really nice. Right next to that, we have some Pacific Ocean, which is really pretty. And I might pick this guy up. Pacific Ocean, really nice. Then they have Manhattan Island. Manhattan Island is a nice deep reddy pink. Nice. Manhattan Island, I don't have that in my yard. And then we have Red Empire. This is Red Empire right here. Let me know if you have any of these guys and how they do in your yard. Now, they do have the ones that I noticed that will be reliably coming back for me in Zone 8A. But they also have the ones that I find to be actual annuals, like they won't come back. And this one is this is a mix. This is the Valentine mix. Different types of dahlias in one container. There's 3 bulbs in here, and this is going to be $14.98. Right? Really pretty. Now, I like buying mix because I feel like I'm getting more for my money. But then the thing with mix is that you don't know the varieties, because this doesn't actually tell me the types of dahlias in here. All it tells me that it blooms summer to fall, grows 20 to 36 inches high, and is hardy from zones 8 to 10. So, you know, they may or may not come back. But for me, I don't find them to be reliably coming back. But they are beautiful enough where I would buy them. This one here is a gorgeous one, guys. I don't have this one in my yard, but this is Soul Man. How pretty is that? I've always said that dahlias are one of the most beautiful plants. Them and bearded irises are really pretty. I really like them. So that is it for the dahlias, I believe. But let me just double check, do a quick thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it for dahlias. Oh no, they do have one that looks like pom-poms here. And look, they call them pom-pom mix right there. It's kind of in the corner why the angle is like that. It says it's bloom in the summer, and these are nice. Now, dahlias, I find, are not the greatest plants when it comes to pollinators, but they, you will see one or two pollinators on them. But these, I don't rely on dahlias when it comes to pollinators, but they are pretty. Next up, we have some gladiolus, which I love. 14.98 for 30 bulbs. This is a mixed one, which you're going to get white and yellow and orange and pink and purple. Really, really nice. Now, I do like them, but you guys know the same story over and over is that they don't stand up too well in the storm, but they are great for bringing to the table. Cut flowers in the vase look really, really nice. And I think it's a great deal. 14.98 for 30 bulbs is a steal. Now here they have peonies. Now the peonies, you've heard me say this in another video where I absolutely adore peonies, but peonies don't do well when I buy them in this form. Now I'm going to give you a close-up what it looks like. Here's the peony. The good sign is that they got great eyes, and that you see that pink there? That means it's healthy. It looks like it actually has a chance to grow because it has eyes. Now you got to be careful with peonies. You can't plant them too deep. But whenever I buy these, they don't do well. If I buy the plant, no problem. I have a Vogue, I have a Sarah Bernhardt, and I have a Sergeant Laverne, and I bought them as plants at Lowe's, and they do great. But whenever I buy them as the bulb here, is that they don't do well. And one of the reasons I think is because don't have the patience. I know that they won't bloom in that first year. Right? They need to really root in. So that's one thing. And also I have clay and I have really bad areas where they don't like to stay wet, right? The ones that I have, they're in containers, which is why they're fine. But I try to buy these and then I put them in the ground and they don't do great. So I've decided to stop buying the actual bulb and just buy the plant. But you might have better luck with me if you don't have clay. But this sorbet mixed here is a beauty, isn't it? A really nice pink, and then they have a white, and then they have a red. They require full sun. This one here I bought last year and it didn't do great. And after 2 years of buying them, I've decided not to. But again, don't let me discourage you. If you've had luck and if you love these, please give them a try. They just might work for you. Now, this one is the Flame and Hawaiian Coral. Aren't they pretty? Really, really nice. A perennial for me. What I love about peonies is that they live long and they are tough and they can take the cold, but they just don't like to stay wet. This one, 2 plants for $14.98. And again, they have 2 dahlias for $14.98, which is just the red and white. And again, take your time and examine it to make sure you can see an eye right there, which is always a good sign. Don't wait until the last minute, guys. I know some of us like to wait for clearance, but by the time you wait for the clearance, and this is just my experience, is that the tuber or the bulb or the corm is dried out. Everybody that came before you have gotten the good ones, so you ended up with the bad ones. And then when you do buy it, because it's on clearance, and you waited so long, by the time you get it, when you do plant it, it's not going to do well. This is my experience. This is why I always come early and get the good ones and pay the full price because I know I'm going to get good ones. Liatris, one of my favorite dyes, and the pollinators absolutely love this dye. This is a mixed one, which is going to be, they're going to have the purple and white one. 40 bulbs, 40 for $14.98. That's actually a good deal. These guys here do absolutely amazing in my yard, guys. The pollinators really, really appreciate it when you put the Liatris spicata in your garden. Now, they also have Rudbeckia, which I never buy here because Rudbeckia, you can get them all over the place. So I don't put myself through the drama of buying Rudbeckia roots, but I do love them as a perennial. They are reliably resilient when it comes to zone 8A and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These guys here are $14.98 for 4 plants. And again, I'm taking my time to zoom in so you can see there's growth here in this plastic. Now, these guys here I've heard, I've never bought them, but I've heard that they won't bloom in the first year. And that's usually the case with some perennials when you plant them by the root. But I don't know. Let me know if you've bought Rudbeckia black, also known as black-eyed Susan, as a one of my favorite plants are the lilies. Now, lilies have Asiatic and they have oriental. The Asiatics are the ones you're going to see earlier on the season and they don't have any fragrance. The orientals you're going to see later on in the season and they do have fragrance. So here's a mixed Asiatic lily mix right here. Beautiful things. Now, the thing I won't buy this is because I don't know the variety. Don't tell you the variety. So when I'm doing my garden tours, I can't tell you the variety. I can only say it's Asiatic mix. And I love to be able to name the names, but still, I still love Asiatic lilies. Now, these are going to be $14.98 for 8 bulbs. Now prices are going up, guys, so don't wait until next year because prices are always going to keep going up. Now, right next to the Asiatics, we have the Presidente and Stargazer. These are going to be orientals. They smell amazing. 8 bulbs for $14.98, and they have a quite bit of these. Now, you guys know I have these in my yard. I absolutely adore them. Now, with the lilies, again, take your time. Look at the bulbs. Make sure they're doing great. If they're soft, don't buy it. If they are rotten or have white stuff growing on them, don't buy it. Buy firm bulbs so you can be sure that they will do well when you plant them. These orientals are the ones that I also jumpstart, just like I jumpstart peonies or dahlias. I do jumpstart lilies because, again, it gives them enough roots so that when April comes around and I start planting things on the outside, they will be already having their foliage and just keep on growing and flowering. Here they have Landini. Landini is an Asiatic lily, has no fragrance, but it is a really pretty plant, guys. Now, my experience with it is that it's not as dark as it shows here, but it's you know, it still looks good. This Landini here does really well in my yard, comes back reliably. Even more of the Stargazer. Now, the one that I showed you earlier was a mix between the Stargazer and the Presidente, but these are going to be $9.98 for 4 bulbs of just the Stargazer. These require full sun, and remember, when you're planting your bulbs, don't plant them in an area that stays wet because they will rot. And especially with me in Georgia in clay, you don't want something to stay wet and in clay because then you're definitely going to have rotted bulbs. Next up, one of my favorite bulbs, guys, is tiger lily. Why? Because the pollinators, especially the hummingbirds, absolutely adore this plant. This is a full sun plant. It's an orange plant, and I have many videos showing the hummingbirds going nuts over these. Now, these will usually be a little bit more expensive than the other type of lilies because they are gorgeous, and they do bloom a little later on in the season. These are going to be 3 bulbs for $9.98. Here are some Dutch irises, Blue Magic, which I have in my yard and do absolutely amazing. These guys here are going to be $9.98 for 25 bulbs. They usually give you more of these, and these do bloom in the spring, and they definitely are a sight for sore eyes when things are beginning to wake up. More of the dahlias. This one is the Purple Rain mix. Really pretty, and this is also shows you one of the reasons that I always say that dahlias are one of the most beautiful plants out there. Absolutely love them. Now, those guys here are going to be another type of dahlia. This is the Kogain Fubuki. Now, this is one of the ones I bought last year and one of the only ones that did not come out. Not sure why, but I'm tempted to buy it again because I like it so, the color so much. This is going to be $14.98 for 3 bulbs. Now, let me look at it to show you what it looks like. And again, like I said, I'm going to do another video showing you what these bulbs look like by opening them up. But that is not a bad price, guys, for 3 bulbs for $14.98. I always struggle with pronouncing this guy here, but I'm not even going to worry about it too much. It is IXIA, $9.98 for 25 bulbs. Let me know if you have this beauty in your yard. Now, it's calling it an annual, and they're calling them annual simply because they're from Zone 8. We're in Zone 8. Now, if you protect it properly in the winter, and if you don't keep it in a wet area, it should come back for us. But let me know if you have this guy. Iexia? I don't know, guys. Let me know if you have this one in your yard. They have a decorative pastel mix of dahlia, which is absolutely heavenly. I really, really like that color. And then they have more of the they have so many different types of dahlias, guys. Look at this particular type here, which is a little bit more flat versus this one's a little bit more fluffy. And then they have the tequila sunrise mix here. These are all going to be $14.98 for 3 bulbs. So Home Depot carries the Vigoro brand, and they have a whole set here specifically for Vigoro. So here they have 2 dahlias. So for example, they have a Blue Boy and a Crazy Love. They have a Metro Star and a Snow Country tuber. They have the Creme de Cassis and the Thomas Edison, which I absolutely adore. I love the Creme de Cassis, and the Thomas Edison comes back to me every year without fail. We have 2 Lady Darlene's and a Babylon Red tuber. They have the Lilac Thyme and the Prince of Orange. Right? Really, really nice. And the difference with these, again, I'd have to open this to show you, but these ones. Now, these ones are so pretty because they're the double petal versus the other one. So now you're only getting 3 for a whole $11, guys. 15 large Gladiolus for $10.98. And then they have a lot of Caladiums. I'm not a fan of Caladiums, and you never really hear me talk about them. I planted them one time in my yard. They didn't do well, and I didn't really mess with them too much. They are a shade plant, especially for me in Georgia that gets really, really hot. Let me know if you like Caladiums and how they do. 3 mixed bulbs for $10.98. Begonias, which I love, $10.98 for 3 double mix begonias. How pretty is that, guys? Look really, really nice. Again, examine your bulbs before you leave. Make sure you buy the best quality. So let's see what else they have, guys. Finally, they have the pre-planted bulbs, guys. They have them in a container already and ready packaged up for you. And all you have to do is add water. Now, they have caladiums and calla lilies in one container. They have caladiums and cannas in one container. And they also have a mix of different types of callas right here. Let me know if you've had good luck with these and how they do in your yard. We are still going, guys. We have the Casablanca lilies, which I love and smells amazing. These are going to be 4 bulbs for $9.98. Right next to that, we have Blackout. Blackout is 4 bulbs again for $9.98. I think this might be a Asiatic. It is really, really pretty. Let me know if you have this guy. I have Cancun in my yard. Looks absolutely amazing, guys. It looks just like that. I definitely would recommend this plant. Comes back reliably. The bulbs have multiplied over and over again. Really, really nice. Again, 4 bulbs for $9.98. Lot of Gladiolus, the Sunset Mix, the Berry Mix, and the Sorbet Mix, guys. Really, really nice. 15 bulbs for $9.98. Now, you guys remember I said I had Sarah Bernhardt that I bought at Lowe's, but they do have it here in the bulb form. It is 1 plant for $9.98. Peonies are usually not that, cheap. So I guess with prices going up, $9.98 is pretty much $10 for a root. So definitely another reason to check the plant to make sure you're bringing home a really good one. They have a lot of hostas, guys. The blue mix that I've bought and do absolutely amazing in my yard. Now, are they as blue as they show here? From my experience, the answer is no. It is not as blue, but still pretty nonetheless. 3 roots for $9.98. More caladiums down here, guys. We have the Aran caladium and they have the Pink Beauty caladium, 4 for $9.98. They have an orange canna. Now, you guys know I have no business buying any cannas because the one set of cannas that I bought years ago have multiplied and multiplied and multiplied. They really do well. They love to stay wet, not soggy, but moist. And the only issue I have with cannas really is that relief roller. Every year comes and damages them and makes them look a little bit ratty. But generally, these plants do really, really well for me. Here's a Carl Rosenfeld here, or Rosenfield. Yes, Rosenfield. 1 plant, $9.98 of the peony. This peony is honey gold. What a beauty, guys. Look at that. Let me know if you have this guy here. Also, they have elephant ear, and you're going to see elephant ears. Now, elephant ears are hardy to zone 8, so mine will come back. Another plant that is in an area that stays moist reliably comes back. And again, prices are going up, guys. One bulb for $9.98. Now, the bulbs that I bought years ago, I had gotten them from Sam's Club, and I had bought a bunch of them. So they keep coming back and they keep multiplying, but they are going up. If you want to get bulbs, guys, I recommend you get them now because prices are not going to be going down anytime soon. Here we have more lilies. Forever Susan, guys. 4 bulbs for $9.98. And then we have Matrix Orange. Nice. 4 bulbs, $9.98. All these guys are going to be full sun to partial sun. For me, partial sun is a really great spot for plants in my area in Georgia because we get so hot. And even though something is saying full sun, I've noticed that partial sun does just fine. They've got the fruits as well, guys. We have grape, we have Concord grape. Now, I bought these one time and they didn't do well, and not sure what the story is, but I don't like grapes enough to worry too much about it. But let me know if you've bought these bare root grapes and how they do in your yard. They have Niagara, they have Concord, right? They also have blackberry. Now, they have Cheyenne variety here. And then they have raspberry, and this one is heritage raspberry. These are all going to be $12.98 for one plant. They also have strawberries, which I love, but so do the critters in my yard that keep, creating havoc in my yard, as you know. These guys here are going to be $12.98 as well. They have little onions, and they also have asparagus down there as well. Also, hardy kiwis here. Everything here is going to be $12.98 for one, guys. Hardy kiwi. We have hardy fig. We have grow your own pomegranate, guys. I don't know if pomegranate is going to grow because I know in the islands, I just came back from a trip and I went to the islands and I saw a pomegranate. I don't think that you stay hot enough for pomegranate to do well, but let me know if you have pomegranate and how they do in your yard. More hardy kiwi and more of the blackberries, guys. That's pretty much it for me here at Home Depot, guys. Let me know what you think and let me know how this compares to your Home Depot. Please like, please share, and please subscribe. Remember to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted on all my new videos. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.